This is Samson, a Nazirite set apart before birth, raised to be Israel's weapon against the Philistines. He carries a vow that forbids cutting his hair and drinking strong drink, and with it a strength beyond ordinary men. This is Delilah, a woman in a Philistine town whose intimacy with Samson becomes the axis of his undoing. She is courted by leaders who see her skill at getting secrets as a weapon. After the introduction, Samson attends a Philistine wedding where he seeks a Philistine wife, provoking conflict with his own people. On the way, he is attacked by a lion, and in that fierce moment, the Lord empowers him to tear the beast apart with his bare hands, a sign that his vocation carries divine strength. In that feast, Samson poses a riddle to the Philistines, wagering garments for an answer. The guests pressure his new wife, and in one painful breach of trust, she coerces workers to extract the answer, setting a personal wound that foreshadows future betrayals. As anger festers after the betrayal, Samson retaliates by tying torches to foxes and setting Philistine fields aflame. This violent act escalates the feud. It shows how personal disgrace becomes national strife when a judge's private life disturbs public peace. As the feud intensifies, the Philistine rulers seek a more cunning solution. They approach Delilah and promise her silver if she uncovers the source of Samson's power. This marks a turning point. The conflict moves from raids to intimate betrayal. In that very moment, Delilah grows close to Samson, speaking soft flattery and feigning devotion. Samson is drawn, revealing moments of his life. Their intimacy becomes a battlefield where love, lust, and national loyalty are indistinguishable. After days of prodding, Delilah asks how to bind him. Samson tells her to weave 7 bowstrings and tighten them. In that night his sleep is shallow, but when Philistine men come he snaps the cords like threads. Her first test fails, but the scheme deepens. When morning comes, Delilah repeats the trick with new bowstrings. The Philistines are ready again, but once more Samson breaks free with ease. Each failure deepens Delilah's desperation and the Philistines' impatience, sharpening the stakes for the final attempt. Days pass and Delilah tries again, with fresh ropes and a new 6-fold cord. In that attempt, Samson again awakens and snaps them. The Philistines grumble. Delilah's urgency grows. Her heart is pushed from curiosity to a willingness to betray utterly for silver. As the dust settles after each failure, Delilah resorts to lies, asking whether binding with hair knots or weaving into a loom will work. Samson indulges the riddles, and he reveals a falsehood now and then. But none of these deceitful methods hold him when the spirit of strength is with him. But before the end, in a moment of weary trust, Samson reveals the core. His Nazirite vow binds his hair to his consecration and his strength. He admits his secret. Delilah hears the truth, and her resolve hardens into betrayal, as the Philistine silver calls louder than loyalty. In that very night, Samson falls into sleep on Delilah's lap. While he sleeps, Delilah summons a man who shaves his hair. When morning comes, the spirit of strength leaves him. He wakes, and his power is gone. The consequence of breaking the vow becomes painfully literal. When morning comes, the Philistines seize him. Bound with bronze fetters, Samson is mocked and paraded before their gods. Delilah's betrayal is complete. Israel's champion lies humiliated, revealing how personal compromise can lead to national defeat when leaders fall into private sin. After the capture, his eyes are gouged, and he is set to grind grain in a prison mill. Samson endures humiliation and physical collapse. The narrative explains that the Philistines want to break Israel's symbol of hope, and using him at the mill is a calculated act of domination. Months pass, and while he grinds grain, the hair on Samson's head begins to grow again. In that slow recovery, the text implies repentance and dependence. The physical regrowth becomes the visible sign that the vow might be restored, and with it a return of strength. Years later, the Philistines hold a great feast to celebrate their victory and offer sacrifices to Dagon, their god. They bring Samson from prison to mock him as they pile up rejoicing. This moment expresses how national pride can become cruel spectacle. When the noise crescendos and his strength is mocked, Samson asks to be placed between the temple pillars. In that instant he prays, acknowledging his failure and pleading for strength one final time. The prayer is not arrogance, but a desperate return to dependence on God. In that very moment, Samson thrusts with all his remaining might and pushes the two central pillars apart. The temple shakes, the roof collapses, and thousands fall. Samson dies in the act, yet he kills more Philistines in his death than he did in life, executing a sacrificial deliverance for Israel. As the dust settles, the text notes that God used Samson despite his flaws to begin to deliver Israel from the Philistines. The story forces readers to ask whether power apart from obedience is blessing or danger, and how fragile human instruments are for God's work. The passage shows that Samson's story is about strength misused and the possibility of humble return. God works through broken instruments, but true power in this story is tied to faithfulness to the vow, not mere physical force. If this story moved you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you do not miss the next one.